but I'm feeling a strong pull towards love. And this could, again, just be a separate message. So, all right, so for some of you, the Six of Cups with the Five of Wands, that's that's an old love that you have fought for. Perhaps it wasn't something that brought you a lot of joy or that you could really go too deep with or go too far with the Five of Pentacles. There seemed to be some kind of lack mindset that needed to change. And from two potentials here, it could either be a change to bringing a higher love and more peace with this person from the past. Could have been something that you really struggled with, or you both struggled with in the relationship. And it's like you really wanted this deep union that really brought you a lot of peace. And you have been fighting for it with the Five of Wands and the Five Pentacles. 5-5 with the Death card, that's 3 signals of change as far as synchronicities. 5-5 is transformation, change. It's also all the elements halfway to a goal. So it's like maybe you kept feeling like you got stuck over and over and over again, just wanting peace. And at some point you decided to stop investing in whatever this was. It's possible you're still in a waiting, watching phase. Ooh, but this hasn't made you very happy with the Sun in reverse. I don't think you've been able to see or think clearly. Yeah, Six of Pentacles on top of the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It's like you had to take a step back because, you know, 6 is before 7. In no longer investing, you had to take a step back and find another form of balance. Now we have synchronistic numbers 6-6 here. 6 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. Just getting some tea. Anybody got any snacks or tea or coffee you're drinking? Feel free to leave a comment on how you like to kick back. 10 of Wands, well, that's not kicking back. That's a huge burden on top of the 6 of Pentacles and then the 7 of Swords in reverse. Now we have 7-7. Wow, I see a progression here. I also see mirroring somehow because the numbers are mirroring each other. 5-5, 6-6, 7-7. And they're coming out in progression. So this is a huge progression you have been making for a while. It's a huge burden. And you've already walked away from something, at least in your mind. I say mind because swords are mental energy. And 7 of Swords is known as the ghosting card. It's also possible for some of you that you can't walk away because of the burdens, maybe possible obligations. And you're trying to like balance some things before you can release these burdens and walk away. So that's for some of you. Strength in reverse on top of the 6 of Cups and 5 of Wands. So competing for this love has like kind of affected your confidence. Especially if it put you into a lack mindset, made you feel like you can't change maybe. Prince of Cups on top of the 5 Pentacles and the Death in reverse. Prince of Cups. That's the Knight of Cups. That's usually the The Knight that wants to come in with a big love offer, something serious, or a creative project. It could also be, like, for some of you, an escalation from being friends to being romantic with somebody. It's possible this motivated you to look at where you were lacking and where you were unable to change, or how you wanted to change, what you wanted to accomplish balance with. And all this underneath the Two of Cups. So it's either like this concept of an ultimate divine union with a soulmate, a higher level soulmate. Okay, Spirit. King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Eight of Pentacles also. And the Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to take all three of those on top of the Two of Cups. Whatever this concept, or it could be another person, it could be another soulmate possibly, does make you feel very courageous, makes you want to lead, but you haven't been able to work on what it is that you want to work on that'll bring you peace. But you want to offer something huge here with the Ace of Pentacles, or you're coming into like a lot of abundance, and abundance could be anything. But Ace of Pentacles is usually a gift from Spirit. It's a graduation of finances, of well-being. Like, it's overcoming health obstacles. Some of you've always embodied this King of Wands energy, this like fierce, strong, loyal, determined person. But what's happened in the past has made it difficult for you to work on what brings you great abundance. So it's possible that there were roadblocks in the way, or lack of motivation to work on the things that you know make you feel abundant. And abundance, I mean, let's think about that. That's first thing people think is money, right? Good money. Let's always remember when we're setting intentions, folks, when we talk about abundance, that we state that it is positive abundance. That's important for some. Because you could wish for an abundance of great food, and you could get an abundance of delicious food, and then you could have an abundant booty to go with it. And there is nothing wrong with that, let me tell you. However, you get my point. It's a really bad joke. You know, like, it's also an abundance of love. It's an abundance of good health, like I said. Perhaps you are a really healthy person, and for some of you, this person in the past was not. They didn't really have anything they were working towards. Nine of Wands. That's the Wounded Warrior card. That's somebody who's been through a very long battle, and it's a step back from the Ten of Wands, which we got here. Could be whoever you were involved with was wounded all the time. Maybe you couldn't focus on your dreams because you had to take care of them. Maybe it created a bit of a codependent dynamic. That's for some. I'm a very direct reader, so I'm also a psychic medium empath, so I pick up on energy, and I'm a seer, which means I know things. I have claircognizance, so I don't know how I know things, I just know things. So if you aren't prepared to potentially be activated in some of my readings, I suppose there's a disclaimer for you, okay? Yeah, so I just confirmed what I was saying. Now we have a progression forward again, but in reverse. So we had the Eight of Pentacles and then the Nine of Wands on top of that. Now we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, this is or was somebody who wasn't very independent. They weren't very stable, especially financially. Possibly they relied heavily on you, possibly wore you out, and this is part of the burden. And, you know, we love the ones we love, right? But there's a certain point where, and yeah, I'm seeing Queen of Pentacles on the bottom here. I think that represents you, the Queen of Pentacles. I think you've been a stable, nurturing force to whoever this person is. And you've been a very caring person, and you've invested a lot. So it's like, it seems like, and also over here with the Five of Wands, it's like you fought for it. Possibly had a lot of things in your life not progress necessarily to your full potential. Wow, the Lovers. Yeah, I knew this was going to be about love when the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups, and now we have the Lovers. You want a deep, soulful connection. You want an equal, because Gemini is represented by the Lovers card. It's the twins. It also represents a choice, being the choice. Also union with the both divine masculine and divine feminine parts of ourselves and each other. Or it's being in union with somebody that makes you feel in balance with yourself. And if you have been somebody who's invested in this person, or people, a certain type of kind of needy individuals, it's possible you haven't been in balance with yourself. And underneath this here, you know, we do have the Six of Swords, which is coming into more peaceful territory, right? And I'm really glad, I mean, right now so far we don't have like the Eight of Swords or the Nine of Swords or Ten of Swords, so you're not mentally torn up over this. I think you're just kind of watching and waiting. But again, this isn't making you very happy with the Sun in reverse. Yeah, I see the Ace of Cups in reverse now. And again, any aces are like a huge offer from Spirit. So like you really don't feel like you have any love you can truly offer. So you are sitting back. And I don't know what this offer is towards. Again, the Two of Cups up here could represent another person, a different soulmate, a deep soul love. I give spiritual guidance. I try not to pass judgments, so I do use discernment with what I talk about here. Remember that we all make our own decisions and we all decide what is true for us. Interesting. Some of the cards try to fly away, and it was the Prince of Cups, and it was upright before, and then it flipped upside down. So this is about like suddenly taking your cup away from something that you wanted to offer love to. Maybe you started to be really passionate about something or somebody. I say something because the creative project influence here. Maybe you felt like it wasn't the right time to invest in it because you have to think about what makes you happy here with the Princess of Swords and the Sun in reverse, with the Ace of Cups in reverse on top of that. Wheel of Fortune. Destiny makes you happy. Following your destiny, following your path, following what you know lights you up inside, what creative projects you want to work on, what kind of union you want to have in the future. And I say union, I just mean partnership, you know, and of course that limits us to a very monogamous type of person. There are other kinds of people out there. Yeah, and as I say that, the Hierophant in reverse. So There are other people out there who don't agree with marriage, and I don't usually read the Hierophant as marriage like other readers, but in this case, I think it goes perfectly with what I was saying. Is not everybody wants to be with just one person, whether that's like they don't want to settle down and have a long-term relationship, or they prefer to be more open. I've known people of all walks of life, so I have a bigger perspective. No, I'm not going to talk about my preferences on this YouTube video. Anyways, so I think really, if you're coming out of being the sole support for somebody, whatever that meant for you, in whatever union, and again, it could be a friendship, that it could be a long-term friend you lived with, it could be somebody you worked on a creative project with that you were deeply entangled with, possibly a childhood friend. Again, it doesn't have to be a lover from your childhood or like a childhood. It could also represent somebody that brings out your inner child in a more positive way. So it's like whoever or whatever this was, it did bring you great joy at one point, but it seems that it was a karmic cycle, because the Wheel of Fortune also represents karma. It represents changing the wheel of time, your fortune. This is upright, so it's like you've got great fortune you're walking towards here. For some of you, I'm just gonna say it. Some of you are still in a relationship and looking to end your partnership, with the Hierophant in reverse over the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, and I just pulled the Queen of Wands. Maybe it has something to do with desire. I don't want to go too deep into that, because that's kind of veering into personal reading territory. I do offer those. I can do an audio recording, or I can do a over the phone reading. Over the phone's great if you want to mix in an astrology reading with that too. Yeah, Princess of Wands, a new quest, and that just went over the Prince of Cups. Something new has you fired up, and you haven't felt this kind of desire in a very long time. And this could be a new spiritual journey. This could be, for some of you, a younger person. Wow, Ten of Swords in reverse. With the Hermit in reverse. This is a separate energy coming in here, and I feel like this has to do with the Wheel of Fortune. So this is a side message, I suppose. If somebody wants to speak up about it, because I had to clear my throat there. Someone is already past. For some of you, this is a past energy that I'm describing, this whole process. Like maybe it's something from the past, some kind of betrayal, and the Hermit in reverse is being seen for it. So that was part of somebody's karmic past. Yeah, King of Cups. It had to do with like falling in love and like wanting a deep love and feeling depth in your soul that wasn't recognized before. Maybe you felt like you were betraying yourself by not being able to fully express